So this short video is going to give you a quick overview of the Bible. The point of me sharing this is that in January of 2020, I'm going to begin a one-year Bible study through this organization called the Bible Project. They have a great resource to take you through the Bible from Genesis through Revelation in 1 year. They have a one-year reading plan, and then they also have a lot of narratives and things that they share with it. So for this video, I'm going to take you through the Bible in 5 minutes, and I'm going to cover the books of the Bible. I'm going to talk to you about the different types of translations, and then I'm just going to give you this quick summary of one of the drawings from the Bible Project. And this is only going to be 5 minutes, so I'm going to jump right into it. So the first is the books of the Bible. Here's a summary of the books of the Bible. There are 66 books in the Bible. It consists of two basic parts. There's the Old Testament. The Old Testament starts with creation, and then it goes into this covenant between man and God. And it goes in and out of this connection with God, and then this fallout with God, and then it goes down into this prophecy in terms of future prophecy about what's going to happen in the future. So these are the 5 books of Moses. There's the creation and the 5 books of Moses. In history, this is the establishment of Israel and the establishment of the Hebrew people, and the Jewish faith, the Jewish people are established through the law. And then the history of Israel and the poetry. This is where the poetry books are the wisdom literature. These are all really beautiful books here. Then you have the major prophets, which are the longer books, and the minor prophets, which are the shorter books. You have the New Testament, which is all about Jesus. So according to Christianity, this predicts the Old Testament talks about a Messiah that's going to come and redeem the people of Israel. The New Testament says that Jesus came and fulfilled that prophecy, and he is the Messiah. According to Judaism, they still don't believe that. So if you look at a traditional Hebrew Bible, it's not going to have the New Testament in it. But according to Christianity and several other different faiths, they do believe the New Testament is it's part of the Bible that most likely the most common Bible you're going to find here in the United States. So the New Testament, it starts with the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. These are direct accounts with Jesus. There's the church history. This is the establishment of the Christian church after Jesus' death. Then you have these letters. Now, the most frequent author of the New Testament is Paul. Paul was a traditional Hebrew, and he was raised in the Hebrew faith. He was raised Jewish, and he was very strict about his faith and following this Old Testament law. He persecuted the Christians at first because he believed they were a threat to the Jewish faith and the growth of this community. And so he's this persecution, but then he had this change to where he ended up being the biggest advocate for Christianity and biggest voice for Christ. So he ended up writing all these letters to these different churches in these different areas, talking about how to grow the church, how to establish their faith, and how to grow in this walk with Jesus. Then we have these other letters. There's a few other authors in here, but most of these are written by Paul. And then the prophecy at the end is the revelation for a future prophecy. So that's it for this one. The next I'm going to show you. So if you're going to do this, if you're going to do the Bible, it's important to pick a translation that works for you. So these are all the English translations. The original Bible was written in Hebrew, in Greek, and then also Arabic. And those, if you really wanted to get into the people that study it really in depth, start to learn these other languages. But for the sake of this, we're going to keep it all in English. So there's translations here, which is they translate it word for word. And then these other ones are thought for thought. And then some of these just kind of paraphrase it and make up for it. So that the message just goes it gets the idea and then kind of writes from there. Probably the most common in the United States is the King James Version or the New King James Version. And then the thought for thought, the NIV Bible is also a very popular one. So pick, if you're going to buy a Bible, check out some of these translations and see which one resonates with you the best. They're all helpful. There's a lot of different thoughts in terms of what's best, but just be aware, not every Bible is going to read the same way. Supposedly it all has the same content, but it's translated quite differently, so be aware of the different type of translations. And the final part here is I want to give you a quick, this is what you can expect to see. This is an example from what I talked about, the Bible Project. And this is their drawing of the book of Genesis. Genesis is the first book in the Bible, and it talks about, this takes you through all the themes in Genesis, and it draws it out. And then with this, they have these short videos that cover the details of this. So the time's up. In closing, let me just mention, for Genesis really sets the theme for the entire Bible. So this is a really good one to go over. And I'm going to close it at that, but this is what it looks like, and I invite you to join. It's really a great book to really understand and to read, and regardless of your faith or beliefs, there's really something to offer everyone by getting to understand and to know this book. So there's a link here in terms of the Bible Project, and it's not the only reading plan that's available, but it's one that I've found to be really helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.